Hi, it's Frank Foley from Stories of Our Lives with another one of my interviews with everyday people, just finding out who they are and where they've come from. So today I've got a really cool guy coming on in a couple of minutes called Solomon Taiwo. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name, but we'll find out soon. In the meantime, just before I disappear and Solomon comes on, I just want to say, if you like these interviews, please subscribe, go to my website, frankfoley.co.uk, and have a look there. There's all the other interviews I've done, I think published 25 or so. So please have a look at those and, subscribe. I love doing these interviews, so I'm going to keep doing them, but a little bit of support would be great. So if you could subscribe and like them when you see them, share them if you can. That's awesome. So thank you very much. And the next time you see me, I will be with Solomon. And yes, I've managed to press record again. So we are live, and I'm with Solomon. This is a great guy here. How do you pronounce your last name?
Taiwo, so Taiwo. Yeah.
Taiwo. Okay, so Solomon Taiwo, who I met a couple of months ago on set, and we had a few conversations. It was pretty difficult because we were pretty busy, but we had a few conversations, and he's just a fantastic guy, and I lost touch with him, and then the power of social media, just came across him again, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this guy on here, and he's very great, very generously agreed to do this with me. So we're going to do another Stories of Our Lives interview. I'm going to say, how you doing, Solomon?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. Great to be on Stories of Our Lives. Like you said, you've touched on it. We've worked together before, and it is an honour to actually be speaking to you again.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. So, I know you've got a lot of stuff going on, and hopefully we'll be able to cover some of it. I know you've got more than we can probably talk about. You're a busy man, but the first thing I suppose is when you hear me say that about you, you're the kind of person that I would like. You'd be the first name I'd write down. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a story and you know how to tell it. Yeah. Do you understand that about yourself? Do you? I'm fascinated with how people live in their own body and their own world. Do you know what I mean? How we're viewed by other people and how we think we're viewed by the world, and like. You're a charismatic guy. You've got bags of energy, and you talk about stuff, and it's fascinating to listen to you. Do you understand that about yourself? Do you know that you're that kind of person?
Not in a boasty way, but I understand that I have certain ways about myself that I can take something on without making it seem like it's hard.
Okay. Yes.
So, yeah. And just in a nutshell, yeah, I do understand. I do that, but all of that is unconscious. Like, it's just a natural exercise you do constantly every day. You keep practicing, eventually what happens that you just naturally do it.
Yeah.
It's like by accident.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna kind of like keep that, and because we're gonna go back and just find out what you were like as a kid. But I'm fascinated in the kind of threads that go from our childhood to the people we are today. So that really always interests me. So that ability to just kind of like, get something new and just, not be flustered and just get on with it and do it. Have that in mind when we talk about like your childhood. So let's take you back. Let's take you back. Solomon's about 5, 6, 7, 8, wherever you want to go. Like what's Solomon like as a kid?
He's a very quiet kid.
Is he? Interesting.
Yeah, very quiet. I was quiet when I was a kid. You've heard about the kid that was stuck in the back of the classroom. I was that kid.
You were that kid?
Yeah, I was that kid. I just my whole life I've always been very independent. So I was always that kid that was learning, always wanted to be someone. When I was younger, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be, So I would sit at the back of the classroom and do my own thing, because I didn't believe certain things that I was told was true. Right. So I just had that mentality of, oh, this is my own dream. But at a young age, I didn't see it like that. It was just like, oh, okay, you told me that. I think it's like that. You know what I mean? So I think I had the mindset. Well, I just had to unlock it. I had to unlock it. And to unlock it, I had to get older and understand their principles about being this and being that and being that. But eventually, I did unlock it.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's really interesting, and that really resonates with me, because people have said, like, I seem quite mild-mannered, but I'm a bit of a stress head, and people have said to me, you're the type of person that will be shown how to ride a bike and then go, yeah, I'm not doing it that way, I'll do it my own way, and fall off about 50 times and then go, oh yeah, I'll do it this way, which is like completely crazy. But so would you say shy, or just quiet, just your own person?
My own person. I'm very, I don't think I was shy. It was just, I was very closed.
That's interesting. That is interesting. You got a lot going on, but just not sharing it at that point. Yeah. So what's the family structure then at that point? Are you only child? Have you got siblings?
Oh no, I've got two. I've got a brother and a sister. So we were we was a close family. Yeah. It was just I just had, like, in every family, there's always one person that has a different mindset to everybody else. Right. I would lock myself in a room and just constantly figure out what I wanted to do. Sometimes I would lock myself in the room 3 or 4 times and just knuckle down on building this, as I say, this isolated career in my head. So I guess it wasn't just because of the acting or the music, which I used to play. It was just the fact I wanted to be looked upon when I was younger as a successful figure, and leave a legend where people would talk about me more. But I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know I was doing that.
You've got like it's almost like that, they talk about that entrepreneurial mindset, isn't it? Where you kind of, you just got to focus on your plans and dreams. Again, this really resonates with me, because it's like, I was very closed off as a kid and just kind of wanted to do my own thing and had all these dreams and kind of, it's really, really interesting that. It's really interesting. So what's the relationship between you and your brother and sister? Where are you in the order?
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest sibling.
How do they see you? Who do you get on with? Who do you not get on with? Or are you all cool together?
I don't think it's like that. It's just we're all busy, to be honest. We all I think the family trade of doing something like doing something out of the ordinary has always been there. So you've heard of like different industries where the family are in the same trade.
Yeah.
My siblings are in the same trade.
Really?
So basically, I think it's just down to you take the same. I think you take the same traits of your mum and dad.
Yeah.
So that's how we are. We knuckle down. We're very close. We are close. We're not.
Who out of your mum and dad are you most like? Would you be able to say that? Could you pin that down, or you?
I don't think. That's a tricky one, because I don't think it's who. I think it's both of them.
Yeah.
I take traits from both of them.
Yeah,
so like probably my hardship and my work ethic could be from my mum or dad. I have never sat down and said, "Oh, mum, is it you? Reason one is, oh, dad, is it you?" No, it's more of the thing that both of them are successful in their trades. So you could understand why my siblings and I would always push for something out of the ordinary.
Yeah. That's really good. I love that. Okay, so I forget to do this every single time I do. Every single time. I've got it written down massively here, and I can't remember it. So I just thought it's a quirky thing. At the start of the interview, I asked people not to tell me now, to save it for the end of the interview, but just to think of a song or a piece of music or something that means something to you, and tell me a little story about it at the end. Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so take me through. So we've got a kind of picture of you as a kid. So take me through to like maybe your teens. And I have no idea how old you are. You know, that's really interesting. But I'm not going to ask. But I just have no idea. So I don't know where this will go. Because you honestly, you look really young. So you could be really young to me. I have no idea how old you are. But you come across as a very like mature person. So I have the range of your age in my head is really wide. So I'm like, but anyway, listen, take me through. What I'm fascinated about is how what you've outlined, that, that boy who's kind of got a lot going on in his head, but how does that start to shape itself into wanting to act and to want to entertain? And, how does that start to work it out in your teens?
Being a younger me, I don't know what it is. It's just not knowing how you would end.
Right.
Excited me.
Wow.
So I always wanted to grasp onto something that was just unrealistic in the normal public eye.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is that it was there, it was just there. It's hard to explain. It was there. That I guess it was like certain teachers that inspired me in college, and I guess it was watching certain documentaries or watching certain videos that powered me to be who I was, who I am right now, sorry. And I had a small amount of friends. It wasn't even friends, it was associates.
Yeah.
I had a successful mindset.
Right.
So, but then there was something deep in me that just let loose. Like literally, like one day you wake up and you say, "Oh yeah, I want to be the best at what I want to do."
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, how did I manage to do that? It's just it's in the head. It's literally, it's a mentality state. It's like you need to be in the right position. You need to be in the right state of mind to achieve anything. And once you overlook negativity, that's it. It's Bob's your uncle. You are right in the middle of a dream.
That's so good. Because that's fascinating what you said, because my question was going to be, and you've really answered it, but I mean, flesh it out if you want to, but that's really fascinating. Because so from the, the boy that's quite, he's got a lot going on, as you've said, but is quite, closed off maybe, or just kind of private, for that person to then develop into someone that's going to go and perform was that, as you say, was that it was in you and you just brought it out, or was it a struggle to overcome, or, how did that, was it a long time, or was it like you just was, at some point you were just like, this is what I'm doing, and you just started to do it?
It was, at the start, it was a struggle to turn it into something, but it was down to, I think it was down to preparation. Yeah. I prepared myself for the best and worst, so I prepared myself for the joys of the rewards that basically I work hard for. That's how I saw it. So if I do this tomorrow, the rewards are going to be great. That's how I saw it. It's just like when you do something at home and your parents gives you money.
Yeah.
But now think about it in a more a successful mindset. Oh, if I save £1,000, I'm gonna make 3,000 for the reward.
Right.
That's it. It's basically a business mindset I adopted. Literally a business mindset of a corporation I adopted.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, working hard is one thing, but preparation and the right mindset, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
You know? So it followed me through my teens. And everywhere I went, it was just like, I bumped into successful people. Like, it's just like, and it was a thing. It got to a point where I started listening and hearing people speaking on the street, and everything connected together.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, oh my God, they're talking about acting. All right then, let me look into this. And then eventually I slowly went into acting. I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to study at the best school, best part-time school. I went there, which was Identity. And then from there, I got myself an agent. You know how the story tells.
Yeah.
You know, it's just having that mindset that got me where I am right now.
So it's for you, it was mindset first that kind of like, like in a way pulled everything together.
Yes.
And then you were like, it's almost like someone, like, I'm going to be a successful person, and it could be in many different things, but I'm going to be successful because I just know who I am. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of kind of like stoicism, stoic ideas, you know what I mean? Where you what you said about preparing for the best and the worst, and you kind of like, you try not to be emotionally drawn either way. You just trying to be the calm center of the world. And that's fascinating to me, because you figured that out at some point. Like you say, you had influences, but it was largely coming from you. And then you channeled that into, okay, what do I want to do? I'm going to go here. It's like, because you seem, when I spoke to you and all that, you're a very held together person. You seem like, talking to you now, I get how, you could have been successful pretty much whatever you decided to do. If you decided to start mobile phone company or something, you know what I mean? You would have applied yourself in the same way. And that's really, really fascinating. So, okay, let's talk. So that's getting a mindset of positivity and taking you forward. So what about when you get, because, what you've chosen is tough gig, isn't it? So what happens with, because you get into that and you feel good and you get an agent, and then, do you know what I mean? Like, so how do you keep yourself, I mean, obviously it related to what we've already talked about, but like, what is that process of dealing with that, dealing with the knocks and dealing with the knockbacks and dealing with the, the phone not ringing sometimes? It's like, how does that work with, are you able to do that? You obviously are, because you're pretty cool about everything. So
I'm as they say, a three-man warrior. So if I get knocked back, I'm doing something else.
Right.
That is it. So in this industry, like, I adopt different things for a reason. I'm like, I basically, it's like I subtract things and take things out and say, oh, I'm going to put this in this box. I'm going to take this and put this in this box. So if something doesn't work, I've got something to do while I wait, if you know what I mean. So it's all down to, so if I get a call for my agent saying that I've got a booking or something, or I've got an audition and I have to wait for that audition, I'm an influencer. This is what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's my package. Yeah, I'm an influencer.
Wow.
So I've got events to go to. I've got I'm making my own films, or I know producers where that could basically help me with my time and go on set and basically act for them instead. You need to be in this industry. You need to be. You can't be that person to always rely. You got to make your own opportunities. And that's what I do. That's how I handle my knockbacks. I've like, literally, I get invited to a lot of stuff, but not to go deep into it. But it's just, you have to be you. You have to take something on and forget about, what happened to that audition. Because when you're doing something, it's the universal thing. The universe will bounce back and say, oh, I've just got that. That's because I was doing that. Yeah, all right. I didn't get that. Oh, well, I'll go that. Oh, I've gone to a big premiere. Oh, all right. That's how it works, That is how it works. And you can't, if you keep constantly working, it could be any trade. You need to be prepared to do everything. You know what I mean?
It's really fascinating listening to you. It's brilliant. But you know what's really funny? It's like, because of social media and the way things are now, it's like, you know, I mean, I've known, you know, we've had family members that are actors, and that, you know, and they really do grind. I mean, they get after it, and you know, there's a bit of a myth about the kind of resting actor and all that kind of stuff. They're always you know, chasing it, but it's almost like social media now is giving, obviously, creative platforms now for us to keep even more, or, you know, for actors that are really, you know, properly trying to be actors and trained actors, platforms to, you know, share their stuff and, you know, and get themselves out there. And it's like the people that are really busting it, like yourself, is like, they're the people that you're going to see. I mean, like yesterday, I'm sitting with my kids and I was like writing stuff out, and they're like, you know, they see your picture and they're like, who's that guy? I'm like, oh, that's Solomon. I kind of met him a few weeks ago, you know, a couple of months ago. I'm like, you want to see his movie trailer? Like, yeah. So we clicked on Future Soldier, and they're like, you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's a good guy. And like, they're like, how did he get in a movie? I mean, he's an actor. It's like, really, you know, but it's that kind of stuff that is just, you know, and it's so shareable now instantly.
Yeah.
You know, I find that really fascinating, that you know, I think it's what you said at the beginning, you know, you're adaptable, you take something on, and your first kind of step is not to go, holy shit, this is hard. Your first step is like, right, how do I do this? It's, you know what I mean? It's like, you have that mentality where it's kind of like, I'm going to solve this problem, whatever it is. Even if you punch me in the face, I'm going to find a way to come back and do it. Like, you know, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. Okay, brief pause. You talked about some of the influences and, you know, things when you were forming your kind of, like, you know, when you were coming from childhood into adulthood.
Yes, of course.
Influential book for you?
Oh, The Child Called It.
Wow, that's not where I thought you were going to go. Wow, I know that book.
That is a powerful book.
That is it Peltzer, Stephen Peltzer or something?
Yeah, I think it's Stephen Peltzer.
Wow.
It's a very powerful book. And also, I've got two books, actually. I've got The Child Called It and Alchemist.
With Paul Coelho, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people say that. That's really interesting.
Alchemist is more about how you can adopt your surroundings, you know, and turn something into gold. The Child Called It, there's a reason why I like that book, is because this kid went through, not to ruin the book if we have, if no one, this kid went through so many dramas in his life, and he still stood up tall. That's everyone's life, to be honest. And if you don't get inspired by that, I don't understand.
I'm gonna link that book when we finish, because that is a good one. I completely forgot about that book. Solomon, talk to me about movies.
Movies.
Where does the love come from? Have you always been a movie fan?
I'm a fanatic. I like movies. I think I was invited to something. I'm invited to something, and from there, I became obsessed with watching different movies. I've watched so many Netflix films. Oh my gosh, like, I am a fanatic, but I love it because with movies and different movies, TV series, it opens your eyes to a bigger ball. The fact that you can be on set with anybody nowadays, if you work hard, is fantastic. So I just generally like watching movies. I don't know which one's my favorite now, but I'm guessing I'm a Marvel fan.
Yeah, I know. I remember your kind of encyclopedic knowledge of Marvel movies was fascinating when we were on set.
We can't get enough of them, seriously.
But where does that, is that something that's developed, like, you know, just like an interest, you know, of later, or has that always been with you? Have you always been attracted to those movies? Is that something that comes from?
Slowly, I think I haven't always been obsessed with movies, but slowly what happens when you become an actor, you then fantasize about watching different scenes and different characters, and it's like a copycat movie. You know, like, oh, I want to be, I want to be the next Tom Cruise. I'm gonna act like Denzel Washington for today. You know what I mean? Like, we do adopt different characters. You know, so movies for me is like a learning curve of what to do and what not to do. You know, so I slowly went into it. It was a gradual thing. Slowly built it up, and then eventually I started getting into it more and more and more and more. And that's what influencers do, you know. It's a big market. It's a very big market.
Where do
I
you?
slowly went into it.
Yeah, go on, carry on.
No, good.
I was going to say, where do you see? I mean, obviously, you know, you're doing things. You got movies going on, but you've got a huge Twitter following. You're busy on there. Where you know, are you kind of like, you know, carpe diem, go wherever we go? You know, you seem like you're pretty cool about it, or are you kind of fixed on, I've got a 5-year plan and this is what we're going to be doing? How do you see it?
I think I said this 2-3 years ago. I'm not a person to have a 5-year plan. I'm a person to go with the wind.
Yeah.
So, like, if you box yourself up in a box, it is so hard to get out of that box. A lot of people have this, they have that. I'm a person to go with the wind, which that's my plan. That's how it's working for me. You know, if an opportunity comes, I'm not gonna break down. I'm not gonna come out of that because I've got a 5-year plan. I'm taking that opportunity. You know what I mean? Because that opportunity will open doors to another opportunity, which opens doors to another opportunity. Then you have a vision. Then a vision turns into a reward. That's how I see it. That's a plan. I don't see 6 years. I don't calculate it in years.
Yeah.
I just see, if I see an opportunity, I'll grab it. And people don't understand that this is how the industries work, and this is how social media works. It's all about opportunities. You have to be the first one to grab the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's it. And the following, and as you can see, the following is more about, I communicate with the people on Twitter all the time.
You do.
Ask them questions. I do competitions. It's because they are your backbone.
Yeah.
It's what people see.
Yeah. It's fascinating in terms of, like, you know, your philosophy. Just to speak to anybody watching, you know, all the millions of people that are going to be watching this interview. I'm joking. But you know, but, like, you know, if you're sitting there and you want to take a step and you're not sure, just rewind, listen to me, I'm dating myself, just play this video back a little bit and just listen to what Solomon's saying. It's like, you know, the philosophy is, like, the strategy, whatever you want to call it, is just to take a step, just move in the direction that you want to go, and stuff starts happening. It's freaky. It might not be what you think it is, and it might take you in a different direction, but stuff starts happening. If you sit there, I mean, listen, I'm going to hold my hand up and say, I did this for years as a young person. I was a planner and I tried to get everything right. And what happened was, you know, it was never good enough. And because of that, I just, you know, a lot of the time wasted time because I never took a chance. And this guy's sitting here saying, take every chance and just take a step towards it, because you don't know where you end up. But it's going to be better than where you were, probably, most likely, because you've got that courage to take a step. And there's something about that energy of, like, trying, isn't there? You know what I mean? Taking a step and risking something. You might get risk. Yeah, absolutely. So far, what's the best thing you've done? If I put you on the spot.
Becoming a producer.
I saw that on your. I was like, wow, you got a lot of strings to your bow at the moment, man. It's like,
I'm guessing becoming very independent and producing my own side and opinion how a film should be.
Wow.
So as you, like, if you've watched the trailer, you see there's this tiny Marvel aspect to it.
Right.
So I've just basically portrayed as the lead actor, which is me. Sorry.
No, you are. Yeah.
As Tico, as a superhero. So basically, he's a clone, but he's a superhero, and he's on a mission to find himself, But he goes back in past
Yeah.
through 6,000, I think it's 5,000, 6,000 years. Huh?
There's kind of 2 time scales, I think. Or
Yes, of course.
yeah.
It's 2 time scales. So basically, and I've added London into it.
Yeah, I saw that. It was good. I love that kind of like 4,000 years ago. It's brilliant what you could do. It's just amazing. It's like, and I think that's the thing. There's so much, we can get fixed on, obviously, because, spend a lot of money, but this, on the big movies, but there's so much stuff under the surface going on where people are honing their skills and making connections and forming partnerships and working with people. It's just fascinating. It's a fascinating process. I'm a total tourist when I go on set. I just get really kind of like giddily excited and just watch, because I'm just fascinated by how people come together, and just, there's so many different jobs coming together and they're all trying to do it to the best of their ability, and, and they create this, whatever it is. It's just a fascinating thing. And what's interesting for me watching you is that you're down there and you're acting and you're honing those skills at the same time is when you're saying you're creating a niche for yourself as an influencer on social media, and also thinking about how you want to make movies. And that's just like, wow, man, it's very, very impressive, I've got to say. I'm not being sycophantic here. I genuinely mean it. It's very, very good stuff, mate. You got a lot going on, and it's good to see. And I really appreciate you coming on and sharing some of this wisdom, about just how to go about your life and get after it. It's fascinating,
Yeah, of course. It's just like, don't think too much about it, like people out there, don't think too much about it. There's always going to be negative people out there trying to break you down, or you might go here and someone's acting a little bit funny, but at the end of the day, you're your competition.
That's good. You're your competition.
Like, nobody's your competition. People will say it's competitive. Yeah, of course it's a competitive industry. It's the reason why it's a competitive industry, because people don't compete or challenge themselves. So they become their competition. You know what I mean? So I try to look from a different angle of life. I try to look from a different perspective. If someone says I can't do this or I can't do that, I then look at it and say, you know what? All right, it's okay. I'm going to do it. I'm just not going to say nothing. And that's how I am. I'm very challenging. I love to compete with myself, and always speaking to myself, competing. Oh, I could do this. You know what? I done this 2 months ago. I'm going to do this next month. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it better.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
You've got that energy, man. Okay, we're going to change tack a little bit. I've got, kind of, over a period of about a year doing this, I kind of developed a few questions just to throw at you. The kind of thing that we don't, maybe, I don't know, it depends what kind of conversations you have with people, but, maybe not the normal kind of stuff. So the first thing, kind of gently to start us off, I'm really, basically what this whole conversation has been 35 minutes on so far, really, but it's so we're probably going to, you've probably said it already, but just to be really specific about the question, I'm fascinated in how we flourish and how like human thriving when we're really optimum, you know what I mean? What is that for you? Like, you can speak like generally or personally, whatever you want, however you want to answer it, but what's human flourishing to you, Solomon?
Human flourish. How we thrive to be successful, right?
Flow state, whatever it is,
Yeah. Humans have the ability to accomplish anything. Meaning, what it means to me is that we've been given a gift.
Yeah.
That's all it is. We've been given a gift, and 50% of humanity to either take that gift or just do something else with that gift.
Wow.
That's what it means to me. Really means to me that you want to flourish. Like it's like when you're a baby and you're given milk. You either drink the milk or you don't. That's success. You've been given, literally, you've been given something, and it's up to you if you want to take that and make it something.
Love it. Listen to this, man. This is so good. My next, I've got a series of questions which is kind of filling the gap. And the first one is, success is?
Oh, success is everything. Nah, I'm joking about that. Success is the key to flourishing in life.
Love it. Okay, I love that. Pressure comes from?
Pressure comes from uncertainty minds.
Wow.
People that are uncertain about what they want to do.
Okay, I'm going to press into that. So when you start something new and you're not sure and you have got that uncertainty, how do you combat that and stop yourself from saying, oh shit? Or is that just going to be a natural thing depending on who you are?
All human beings have a natural thing of being uncertain. We all have that mindset embedded in us to should I take that? No, I'm not going to risk that. The way to go by that is to build a platform and override that mindset, which stops you from doubting yourself at a new challenge.
Yeah. I love that. It's constantly kind of working, isn't it? But without overthinking it, but just kind of like, you know, you get wins and you kind of overcome your losses and that kind of thing. You just keep going, and yeah, it's fascinating. Okay, I've got another one for you. In the end, it all comes down to?
In the end, it all comes down to you and your ability to achieve anything. I told you I overthink things. I add certain things in that are not supposed to be there.
So
but it's true. What I mean by that, in the end, it all comes down to you and your ability to achieve anything. Like, nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to spoon feed you. Nobody's going to feed you by a spoon. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean.
You genuinely believe it, don't you? I mean, you really do have that inner confidence that you can do it.
I have the inner confidence, but people need to understand that because a lot of people could say that confidence can fire arrogance.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm not arrogant. I've seen it day on, day out. People doing this and people doing that, and what works and doesn't work. You know, so like, I do have the confidence, but in a more influential way.
Yeah.
On how I want to achieve, and then it comes down to how every successful person, don't be afraid to help someone else.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I have confidence.
Right. I love that. Solomon, are you winning?
Am I winning? It depends on your terminology of winning. What is your terminology of winning? I'm winning in life, yes, of course. The reason why I'm winning in life is because I smile a lot. That's winning.
Good, very good line. That's
freaking winning for me.
Solomon, do you know who you are?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I have another question.
Yeah, go on.
Who are you?
A kid. Actually, this is a good one. A boy that became a man.
I love that.
I'm a boy. I used to be a boy, and now I'm a man.
That's good, man. That's what it has to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you had the chance, would you edit your story?
Actually, I have no doubts about my story. I wouldn't edit it because my story is not Wikipedia. I would not edit my story. It is so. I literally, honestly, I enjoy my story. My story got me here, you know.
Right there.
So I've never edited it. Like, I
That's so
don't
good.
understand why people will go back and edit their story.
The goods and the bads make you who you
Yeah,
are.
it's a balance.
Absolutely.
You got to have bad to be good.
That's
It's the
so
balance, the laws of average. You know, it's the laws of the universe. You know, you got to start from struggle to gold.
love it.
That's all it is.
I love
Like
it.
even with social media, you can't expect to get 1 million fans if you're just gonna sit at home doing nothing. You got to work, and it's not only about being on TV. It's not only about acting in drama schools, and also talent is not enough.
Yeah. You got
Mike, you got to put in the graft. That's all it is.
you got to bust it. You follow Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas. Who's Eric Thomas?
Um, Eric Thomas is a motivational speaker. I think he was kind of loosely called the hip hop preacher. He's got a fascinating story. Eric Thomas is like a big time motivational speaker. He's broken through about maybe five, I don't want to say like maybe within the last 10 years. At some point he was filmed giving a speech to some college kids and like getting them to stay in school, maybe high school kids, getting them to stay in school. And this is one of it is, I mean, it went crazy. It blew up, millions of hits, this speech. It was like a 15-minute speech, and he went deep. I mean, he said things that the guy's amazing. Yeah, I'll copy him into you. He's fascinating guy. He's got a fascinating story as well. He was like I think he's from Detroit, and Detroit's like tough, and he was like, he had a broken home, and his mum I think was on drugs and everything, and he was really low. And I don't know, kind of, I'm not quite sure how he saved himself, but he went on and got a PhD. The guy's just amazing. If ever I'm like at a point where I'm not that uncertain, you stick him on for 5 minutes, and he's got this thing, take no days off. You'd love him. He's got take no days off. He's so good. You can't sulk and listen to him at the same time. It's just impossible, because he's in there going, you got to. It's just brilliant. He's an amazing guy. Kind of went off a tangent there, but he's what was I going to say? Another fill-in. If I had the chance, I would.
If I had a chance, I'd inspire 2 million people more.
It's good, man. You're already doing a great job. The stuff that I see you do on social media is good, man. Okay, listen. Not many people actually know this, because this is a bit of a secret, but I like to think of myself as a bit of a writer, maybe a kind of like low down poet. But I also make small single-use time machines, and I can let you have one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have one now. I'm gonna send you back. It only lasts for about 30 seconds, a minute or something. I'm going to send you back to see Solomon when he was young. Okay. And if you don't mind, you don't have to, but if you don't mind, I'd love you to share what you might say to your younger self. You got 30 seconds. What are you going to say to him, Solomon?
Hi, mate. This is Solomon, and keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing right now is brilliant, to be honest, because I grew up to be a warm-hearted, inspiring individual. Am I allowed to say that? And keep locking yourself in a room and keep working hard, because one day you're going to be successful. Not just successful because you're creating stuff, it's successful because you've got the right mentality to be the best.
That's so good, man. That's so good. I love it. Solomon, what are we all doing here?
I don't know. I'm joking. We are seeing this. I guess we're here to find our way in life, the path. Like, that's what we're here for. to gradually find out why we're here, why we exist in the world. At the moment, there's only a percentage of us actually have the understand our reason for his existence, you know?
Yeah.
But I think the rest of us are still seeking answers.
And on that path, how far are you along?
I'm like that song, Ring a Ring of Roses. Literally, I couldn't tell you how far I'm on the path because it'll be like I'm boasting.
Yeah, right.
But
it's good, man.
I have worked extremely hard, and I'm still working hard, and the path has just begun.
That's brilliant. That's so good. This has flown by. It's like 45 minutes, but you know we're pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to tell me about a song that's meaningful to you.
So, my name. So, a song that's meaning to me or my name.
A song or a piece of music.
Oh yeah. Yes, of course. Stand By Me.
Wow. Wait, let me ask you this before you tell me why. Did that come to you just now, or did you think that when?
No, that's what I had before.
When I originally asked the question.
Yep, that's what I had before. Stand By Me.
So I did this once, and I had the idea that people would think about it all the way through the interview and they'd keep going back to it. But that's clearly not what happens. You ask that question and you say, don't tell me. And people always, without fail, go with what they originally thought.
Yes, of course.
Something immediately comes into their head and then you say, don't tell me. And you go back and you go, what did you, it was this from like the minute you asked me that question, it was this. So tell me about Stand By Me.
Stand By Me is a very powerful song. It entitles of unity, respect, follow or lead. You know, so it just has a wide message of this is how I see it. This person, this individual that is saying, oh, don't need to worry. It's how us influence feel day by day. You don't need to worry. Stand by me. And that's what the song spills out. You know what I mean? If you look deep into it, it's basically saying that, mate, look, if you fall over, we'll pick you up.
Wow.
That's why fans are there. We help them.
That's so good, man. That's just, you know, there's a perfect way to finish it. It's like awesome. Mate, I'm really grateful that you've come on. You've just been a complete shining light in terms of your philosophy and your attitude to life. It's just amazing. And you know, I think it's, you know, I hope, you know, I'm certainly going to share it around and try and get people to watch it. And I think because people need to hear you, because you speak, you know, so powerfully about our individual ability to be successful in whatever we choose to do, you know what I mean? And it's not always the path we think we're going to follow, but, you know, we create stuff as we create our lives. And you've just spoken so powerfully about it. It's just brilliant. So I really appreciate you coming on, mate. I'm really grateful. And
when you share it, I'll retweet it for you. Don't worry. When you share it, I'll retweet it for you.
Good, man.
I'll get everyone to see it.
That's good.
Because you yourself need the backing too, man. You're doing something good here, and actors and influence like me need to get involved in what you're doing and help you yourself out too.
That's very grateful. That's very, what's the word? Gracious of you is what I was trying to say. I appreciate that. Okay, so just going to say goodbye to Solomon and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my website, frankfoley.co.uk. You can see all the other interviews there. I also do literature classes. Yeah, I'm going to link everything that we've talked about, maybe not everything, but try and get as much on as possible. So when I share the interviews, the books that Solomon's talked about, and you know, some of the things that he's mentioned, and obviously all his production companies and all those things, I'll link. So you can check him out. He's a fascinating person. We spent 50 minutes with him, so you can see, you know, he's definitely someone to follow, because he's probably going to be running Universal Pictures in about 10 years' time. So I'm just going to say goodbye, mate. Thank you very much again.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Have a good day, buddy. All right.
You too, man.
See you later. All the best. Bye.